Hey geeks, what is happening? How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good. I got a new job, and so I decided to celebrate by buying some comics. Of course. And I went to my LCS, and I don't know much about these Dynamite comics, but this is one of these books that just kind of jumped out at me. Project Superpowers, Omnibus Volume Number 1, Dawn of Heroes. Had kind of a Watchmen vibe, so I thumbed through it. Of course, you see um, any artwork or story by Alex Ross caught my eye. Gotta take a sip of that coffee. Great cover. Don't know anything about it, but I thumbed through it. And I thought that what I saw was rather interesting, so I bought it. So if anybody knows anything about it, it appears to be alternate historical fiction, as you can clearly see. Uh, I, I I read the synopsis on the back cover briefly. It definitely has kind of a Watchmen vibe to it. So it is I think, chronological historical story of these various superheroes and the politics and war machinations that they get involved with, and I'm sure all of the moral dilemmas that those situations present. Looks like we've got a rogues gallery of villains, the specter of nuclear war. Yeah, very Watchmen vibe to it. But Alex Ross, I think, really has a zen for these types of stories. You look at what he did with Uncle Sam for DC Comics a few years back, and he didn't really. I don't think Alex writes a ton. You know, he did that Fantastic Four full circle, but it seems like the last few years he's been focused mainly on doing artwork and not writing. But I've never really read anything by him that I thought was terrible. In fact, I think he's probably a pretty good writer. That's a cool cover. But yeah, I don't know anything about these stories or these heroes, but it looks very cool. And I guess this was a long running series for Dynamite based on the page count. And this is only Omnibus Volume 1, but it's a beast of a book. So very cool. I'm excited to dig into this new world here. And of course, you got this fantastic artwork as well. Along with another Valiant comic, Shadow Man. Don't know anything about Shadow Man either. But this had kind of a Blade vibe to it. In the artwork, they're very cool. Very cool artwork. Love this page here. Oh, and it's got a monkey too, a talking monkey. I love it already. You can't go wrong with talking monkeys. Um, yeah, so it's got this kind of gothic feel to it. It's kind of a, I don't know. It looks like a cross of like Blade and John Constantine Hellblazer. So I'm down for it. I'm totally down for it. Um, don't know that much more about it, but it looks pretty cool. Got some monster hunting in it, incantations and so forth, strange mysticism, a little bit of gore. Yeah, it's got elements of horror and mystery and superheroes, and all that good stuff, all that good stuff thrown into it. I don't know anything about the origin of Shadow Man, but he appears to cast a wide shadow in this book. I guess that's his sidekick. That's pretty cool. So yeah, looking forward to this one. This is, so it says Hero Universe Origin. So you know, I don't know if chronologically in terms of publishing, if I'm reading it in the right order, I'll have to do some research. But there were some other Shadow Man books that were not of the page count as this one. So but I decided to go with this one because it seems like if this is the origins or origin story, this would be a good place to start. There's no volume number on it, so I think there's just a series of different books. But yeah, I never really paid attention to these Valiant comics. I may have a few scattered issues of different stuff here and there that I might have bought because I like the cover or something. But yeah, I don't know much about them. Here's the back cover. The perfect entry for new readers into Valiant's supernatural realm. Jack Boniface, inheritor of the Shadow Man mantle, battling dark forces in our world. The series weaves horror, mysticism, and action as Jack confronts his powers and their weight. Experience a thrilling journey where the living and the dead converge. Shadow Man offers suspense and heroism and narrative rich with eerie intrigue. Contains the first appearance of Shadow Man, Dr. Mirage, Master Darkrai, and many other Valiant Universe characters. Okay, so that's cool. First appearance. All right. Yeah. Yeah, looks pretty cool. First 16 issues of Shadow Man. Picked up another one of these Star Trek New Visions by John Byrne. These are really cool. I've shown them. I've shown them on other videos. I think I have volumes 1, 2, and 3. This is volume 6. Yeah, these are interesting because they're like those old 70s, 80s photo books from the actual TV show and the movies. And what Byrne did is basically take all of the film from the original series, I guess in still format or even frame by frame. They must have had digital files that they gave him, and then he just cut them up and collaged them into new stories. I guess probably with Photoshop and maybe Adobe Illustrator or some other formatting software, and wrote the stories and added the word balloons, and boom, there you go. There are some elements where he's introduced new. As you can tell, this character was not in the original show, so he's able to do some composites where he just will collage in different characters and so forth. Like even these like floating robot drones or whatever, those weren't in the original show. So he does introduce additional elements from his visual library into these comics. And I don't know, I just like the idea of being able to cut up all of these original photos from the show, and then add new elements and insert them in, and then write new stories, but it has the same look and feel of the original series. And in some instances, the stories are kind of sequels to some of the episodes. In fact, a lot of the stories are like sequels to the episodes. And I think there's 7 or 8 volumes of this in this trade paperback. So the comic book ran for a pretty good run. I don't think I've ever seen any of the floppies though, like out in the wild. I've only ever seen them in these collected trade paperbacks. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they're kind of hard to find or something, but I wouldn't think so. Like, the series must have run maybe 30 or so issues. So, yeah, these are cool. I'm eventually going to collect all of these. Yes, I love Star Trek. Look, see, that's cool. It's got that old 60s retro sci-fi look to it. That ship was not in the original show. So that's an introduced element. You even have the same font and lettering and so forth from the original show. Yeah. Bringing back old characters, Nurse Barrett. Or I'm thinking, no, that's her real name, Majel Barrett. She was married to Gene Roddenberry. Hurrah, Scotty, Nurse Chapel. That was her name in the show. Nurse Chapel. And of course, Sulu and Chekhov. Yeah, good stuff. So they take the floppies and they wrap them in the comic shop news, which is cool. So as you know, this is the big, I guess this is the big week for the big Hush 2 event from Batman. I grabbed an ash can on the way out. They were only $1.99 for these ash cans, and I don't know about you, but I've seen these ash cans like go up in value like ridiculous amounts. So, and I guess it's because they're such limited runs and they're black and white, which I think was a brilliant idea on DC's part because Jim Lee's artwork in black and white looks unbelievable. You know, he's just such a good draftsman. The guy is just a master of detail. It looks like he had a lot of time to work on this first issue. I was talking to my friends at the LCS about this. We all kind of agreed, like the level of detail is like seems to be kind of above and beyond Jim Lee, which is saying something. Oh, this just really looks great in black and white. I imagine they're going to publish a black and white version of Hush 2 at some point. You know, gotta keep those cash registers clinking, man. So, yeah, wow, yeah. I'm glad I grabbed this ash can. So, Defenders of the Earth. I've been reading this series. I like it. So this is issue number 5. I think this issue just came out. They've got these these action figure covers, which are pretty cool. So yeah, the Mad Cave's doing this Flash Gordon. The Flash Gordon also, by the way, is really good. I read the first trade paperback. I'm gonna do another video based on all the comics that I've read so far this year. I filled up a short box so far. And the first 4 issues of this are in there too. But yeah, this is a fun book. When you've got a series, when you bring back these old school Golden Age heroes like the Phantom and Lothar and Mandrake the Magician and Flash Gordon, I mean, you know, you can't go wrong. All right. Here's a variant cover for Hush 2. And there's the actual cover. Not going to go through this page by page because it is brand new. Yeah. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Whatever. Who did this cover? And then they had a bunch of previous Batman issues that are leading up to Hush 2 that I missed. I had been picking these up since Loeb and Lee took over the book again, so I didn't have this issue. Nice Joker cover. Some Catgirl. That's a good Catgirl rendition. Barbara Gordon's version. Isn't she still Oracle? There's so many Batman books out, I can't really keep up. Batman Off-World, by the way, was awesome. I'm going to do a video on that. Catwoman. Which is it still 3 Jokers? Is this one of the 3 Jokers? I don't like that 3 Jokers concept. There should be only one Joker. And then issue 612. Yes. Oh, he's pissed off Superman again. It was an excuse just to get Jim Lee to draw Superman and Poison Ivy. Yeah, how many rounds can you go with Superman? Well, if you're Batman, you can do it all day. I mean, you know, who doesn't like seeing Superman and Batman fight? It's like having Catwoman and Batman, you know, get romantic. It's gonna happen. It's like gravity. It's inevitable. Oh, yeah, there's Superman. Oh, he's under the influence of Ivy, of course. All right, so that's what's going on in this one. Okay. In the Mouth of Madness, issue 610. Yeah, I haven't read any of these yet. I've been just stacking them up, going to go through them. I mean, of course, there's going to be an omnibus at some point. I don't know how long this run is going to go for with Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee, but you know, hey, it's a good move on DC's part. Tap into a little nostalgia, boost some comic sales, get some people back into the comic shops. Issue 609. Ivy, Catwoman, and Batman. I think I have this issue, but I went ahead and grabbed it anyways in case I didn't have it. What is this? Lord of the Rings. An entirely new edition. Why would there be a new edition? The extended cut is the definitive cut. I don't get it. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of action in these books, which is good. That's what you want. I'm seeing too many comics that don't have hardly any action in them at all. It's just like, what? And you know, I'm seeing too many DC comics that don't have any action in them at all. I don't look too much at the Marvel comics anymore. They're just so horrible. There is no action in so many of them. I just don't even understand what they're trying to do anymore. DC, at least to me, is making an effort by evidence of this book. So many ads, though. Oh, these DK books are cool. Which one is this? Truth, Justice, and the American Way. The ultimate guides to your favorite heroes. Yeah, JLA, Superman. Oh, they're publishing sticker books now. Those will sell pretty good. People love those stickers now. It's like a new thing. Yeah, I think we can safely say Jim Lee has still got his artistic chops. Comic shop news: Supergirl #1 is on its way. It might already be on newsstands. I'm not sure yet. Newsstands. You can tell how old I am when I say newsstands. Comics aren't on newsstands anymore. Oh, this Gotcha Man book. I want to get that. That's out in TPB now. That's for you old timers. That's Battle of the Planets, but I'm sure you already know that. But yeah, the book looks great. I've thumbed through it. I think the first 2 volumes of it are out. I think I picked up the first 2 or 3 issues of it, and then just kind of lost track of it. But more and more, I'm pivoting back to just buying the trade paperbacks because it's just too much to keep up with the individual issues, and it's cheaper to just buy the TPB for like $18 when comics are going for $4 to $7 a floppy now. Rogue Trooper. I have a I don't know if I would call it an omnibus, but I do have a collected Rogue Trooper book that I literally bought in London at Fantastic Planet in central London, and took it back to the States with me years ago. And it's all in black and white. So I wonder if this is in black and white or if they colored it. But yeah, Rogue Trooper is bonkers. It's part of that whole English, British, 2000 AD, Judge Dredd, array of comics. Strike Force Morituri. Not familiar with that. But I think I was looking at that book. Yeah, it's on my radar. Marvel Fanfare Omnibus. They're doing an omnibus of Marvel Fanfare. Got to keep those cash registers rolling. Conan. I gotta check out these new Conans. Everyone's been raving about them. I just can only read so much. Energon. I just read the first volume of Void Rivals last night. It was cool. I liked it. And I wanted that to be my introduction into Energon. So I've got the Cobra Commander TPB, and I need to get the Transformers ones and the couple other G.I. Joe titles that are out there. So yeah, I'm getting into the Energon universe now. But Void Rivals, highly recommended. I thought it was just really, really good. This Dick Tracy also, the first TPB of that is out. I want to check that out too. I'm kind of trying to collect all the Dick Tracy comics I can get, which goes back to what, like the 30s? Does it go? I think it goes back that far. Maybe, yeah, the 30s, definitely the 40s, I think. Let's see, not really. Look, Godzilla versus X-Men. Jughead. Gwenpool. I like Supergirl better than Gwenpool. Gwenpool. What? They got Spider Gwen. They got Gwenpool now. I mean, they're just throwing darts at a board over at Marvel. It's just, I just can't. I don't know. I used to love Marvel, and I still do. I love everything Marvel up until about 2015. No, I mean, there's some good stuff. I guess Jonathan Hickman is back doing stuff, but that's really, he's about the only thing in Marvel currently that I'd be kind of interested in. So anyway, and this Supergirl here, who did the artwork? It looks like Dave Gibbons. Does that look like Dave? Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, good way to celebrate. My friend there at the register, she says to me, "Wow, you got a lot of heavy reading coming up." I was like, if you only knew the half of it. This is just a fraction of what's going on with my reading. So I've got a stack of stuff to read, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be next. Oh, that's going to be next. And then I'll go and I'll buy like these two things, and now I'm like, oh no, that's definitely next. I'm pivoting to that one. So that other stuff I was going to read, now this is now going to jump ahead. So there's constantly books that are competing for my attention, where I get interested in them, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks really cool. Like it looks a little bit cooler than that other thing that I was going to read, so I'm going to read this new thing now. So yeah, I think I'm gonna jump into this one first. Till the next one, stay geek.